Hi, good evening, everyone. How are you? Nice to see you here tonight. How's everybody doing? How was your day? I have not gotten off of Zoom media or Zoom, whatever, not media. It is media. I've been in one Zoom meeting to the next. And you know what? I'm finding Zoom more exhausting than real face to face meetings. And then it's in my last meeting, I was putting together our show for today. So good to see everybody here. I don't know what I look like. I can't even worry about it at this point. So anyway, how are we doing? So I had a really nice meeting. You know, I do a workshop, right? And on my Thursday workshop, um, one of the artists, Jamie, very good artist, Jamie Ballet, was talking. We were starting to talk about political art and such and all that's going on and all the stuff about the monuments that we've been talking about. And if you haven't seen on my Facebook page, I posted today an article that Holland Cotter wrote in the New York Times just about monuments. And, you know, I'm a real fan of Holland Cotter, not just because he once told me I had a phenomenal eye for art, which meant everything to me, truly. It's like saying I'm a good parent, right? It's right up there in the things that you're so proud of in life. Um, but he talked a lot about the Roosevelt Monument, and he talks a lot about these monuments as opticals, right? What is the optics of it? What are the optics of the Roosevelt Monument and the real need for education, but also real need to change those optics and to get artists out there. Let's get these monuments down and let's get artists employed and working on, you know, putting some really compelling work, and which is basically what we talked about yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I saw that. The Sand Creek Massacre, right? Yep. A lot of history there, a lot of history. So in talking with my workshop group, I really wanted to know how this has changed everybody, because we've been through it a significant time and everybody has changed. And it may be that we are too close to it to see, but it may be that we could start to look at it. I know how it changes us, how it changes our work, how it changes our mission statement, whatever. So then Jamie started talking about two artists and he grouped them together, and I would have never grouped them together, and just about the incredible beauty of the work, but also how it's so beyond beauty also. We look at it just very simplistically as, oh, these are flowers, these are nice, we miss it. And so I thought that we could look at Jamie's choice, and it was just off the top of his head. It was brilliant, and I hope Jamie joins us here. Fontaine-Latour, Henri Fontaine-Latour, and what he said specifically, and as Jamie's talking, I mean, I was really excited about this, because he said about like a vase isn't just a vase. You know, it has so much to do with the light and the reflection and everything and the flowers. And it was really fascinating to see how an artist, I'm always fascinated to see how artists feel about other artists and what inspires them. So I thought I'd read a little bit about Latour. And one of the things that strikes me, was Marcel Proust mentions his work in this search for lost time, right? Many young women's hands would be incapable of doing what I see there, said the prince, pointing to unfinished watercolors. And he asked her whether she had seen the flower paintings by Fontaine-Latour, which had recently been exhibited. Yeah. And it's so fascinating because his work, as Jamie was saying it, is there's something about it that goes beyond just the notion of beauty from flowers or flower paintings or still lives or whatever you want to call it. But there's this incredible simplicity, but also complexity and also personality. Like each flower. In fact, Jamie said something interesting that I wrote it down. I have notes on everybody, my friends. And I write everything down because I hear so much in a day, I end up forgetting it. What did he say? They're states of being. that even flowers are not just, it's not just a flower painting. Just like humans, just that we have states of being. This is who I am at this point in my life, right? If you took a picture of me younger, you'd have a whole different picture, right? But these are states of being. And so that Latour is capturing the flowers in their particular states of being, you know. And I just thought it was just so beautiful. So I want to show you a few more. Let's see. I kept my slideshow from yesterday just in case I had to refer back, you know, in case I get annoyed again. No, not always annoyed. So we have this one. Then let's look at this one. This is gorgeous too. Really just, and when I was thinking about it, when Jamie said it, the states of being, as looking at it, it's almost as if each petal has their own, they do, they have their own life to them. They have their own emotion, own sensibility to it. It's just really beautiful. There's this dialogue that's happening within all of this in a dance, yeah? And then, I wonder where my mother is today. Wasn't that exciting when she came on yesterday? Look at this one. I really love this one too because of the glass vase, right? There's a whole life within that vase, the leaves. And then the flowers, you have the outside of the flowers, but then in the inside of the flower, you have a whole different world. Yeah. Yeah, the light is really touching the objects. Yeah. Hi, Mom. I just mentioned you. How are you? Good to see you here. We're looking at an artist, Henri Fontaine-Latour. Just fantastic work. Looking at beauty today, but the complexity, there's a complexity. Look at these flowers. Look at the way they're drooping at a certain point. Yeah, they're really beautiful, right? Yeah, Charles, the Dirty Water, right? And this one on the left, it's just kind of drooping, but it's almost like a head that's down. And he just really is able to capture this. And I really hope Jamie sees this because Jamie, this was very inspiring. I want you to know that. And I thank you for that. And the other artist that you talked about, you know, not to change the subject, but I had my hair cut and it still feels very long to me. I need kind of more of my old style back. I digress. Jamie also talked about Morandi. And I love, he connected the two. He connected both these artists in the most interesting way, in a way that I wouldn't. And that's what's so amazing about anybody looking at art, but also artists looking at art. So Morandi was an Italian painter and printmaking, and he specialized in still life. His paintings are noted for their tonal subtlety, in depicting apparently simple subjects, which were limited to vases, bottles, bowls, flowers, and landscapes. In both of these artists, there's this simplicity. But it's not, and Jamie said something interesting. He goes, Morandi's one of these artists like Cy Twombly that parents will say, oh, my kid can do that. No, don't think so, right? Yeah. So I love each of the empty vessels. Yeah, Charles, they all have a relationship to each other and a personality of their own. And it's driven by shape, right? Which I find so interesting. So let's look at a few more of these. This is really lovely, this piece. And again, the glass, the light. And then, but with Morandi, I really, really love the pieces that are the what do I want to say? The jars or the glasses that are just very, very the opaque, more opaque, like these. Yeah, just shape, and it's just so basic. It's so basic. Yeah, the bread, right? Yeah, it's that one. it's just, it's basic in the sense that it's so simple, but yet it's so complex and so elegant. And he brings to these, I love this one, such a life, right? And such a look at life. Let me see what I want to look more at each individual artist later on. Let's see, today's Thursday. Yeah, I think that this will be more like a transition. Yeah, it's very peaceful, right? Because I think I really would like to go into more depth, especially with Morandi, and really think about his life a little bit more and what he was trying to do. So today being Thursday, right? Yes, as a transition from the last few days of dealing with monuments and such. Now, see, I'd love a monument to look like this. I think we could agree that we would not be celebrating an idiot, or worse, a criminal. Yeah. Yeah. What I'd like to do for tomorrow is I'm going to go more in depth with Morandi. Today I had, as I said, oh my goodness, you can't even imagine, one Zoom meeting after another. I am the Zoom queen, my friends. Who else do we have here? I see we have I'm trying to read everybody. Isn't it interesting, Arlene, that Jamie would pair them? It was like a stroke of genius. Not that he's not, but it's just the way they both came together like that, off, as Shakespeare said, trippingly off the tongue. For Jamie, trippingly off his brain, Morandi and Latour. It was just amazing. So, yeah, I'd like to do a little bit more in-depth work on that. And tomorrow I don't have the same amount of time in front of a computer screen, which is really good. So, yeah. Is Jamie on here? I don't see him. Sometimes what happens is I can't always see all of my viewers on this. I'm still learning this. You know that, right? Yeah. All right. So you guys, hope everyone's staying safe. I'm getting very frustrated because the better we get in New York City. We worked really hard here to get this COVID down so that we could reemerge into life. And the more it feels like the better we get, the worse the rest of the country gets. And that's going to be a hindrance for everybody. And so that's frustrating. So, yeah. Okay, wait. It's telling me how to do this. 1 second. No, it's not. Give me 1 second, guys. Isn't this annoying? Yeah. Yeah, they kind of make you think, don't they, Charles? It's interesting that you say that because I feel like there is something about these paintings where you just kind of rest your mind and let your ideas flow from being within that space. I know when I look at work like this, I think about, right off the bat, my first thing is how the whites echo each other across or create a rhythm across the canvas, across the composition, and then the oranges, and then the blues, and then the browns. And so then you have this interesting rhythm happen. And then I think about the shapes, and then I realize I'm in a whole new world. So yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. All right, so for tomorrow, I am going to take a deep dive into Morandi because now I'm really intrigued by him in a way that, in revisiting him. Yeah, so let's do that. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for joining me. Sorry to cut it short tonight, but I've been sitting in front of this computer screen. My eyes are hurting now for hours. I will see you all tomorrow evening. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.